people are watching that.
That's right.
That's huge.
That is huge.
It's all good for everybody. It's good for the sport. It's great for the sport. It's like that's what we need. We need more competition, more eyeballs on it. And unfortunately for the the people that are casuals, it has to be a name. It has to, like this Conor McGregor fight in July is going to be fucking bananas. It's going to be bananas. I mean, people are going to go crazy for the return of Conor McGregor because he's a giant personality.
But don't expect the same thing.
How could
you just can't.
He hasn't fought in 5 years,
That's
right?
exactly it.
It's been 5 years.
But that's the problem.
It might be more.
Because they're going to all expect that.
I think it is a little over 5. It's almost 6, I think.
It might be 6 at the time of the fight.
It might be. I think it's 5. I think it's 5 right now.
Are we expecting to see a Conor that looked like Nate this last fight? Or are we expecting to see a better Conor than someone that looked like Nate? Because Nate did not look good.
No, but Mike Perry did.
And
Mike Perry looked like a murderer.
You know what I mean? Like
Mike Perry is a murderer.
He's a murderer.
And this is
such a savage.
You take a look at that. When you're taking an older fighter, which Nate is now, and you're
21. You're 5 fucking years ago, July. So
if you don't know the betting odds, you bet $100, you make $330 if you bet on McGregor. And McGregor's already talking S. He's talking S. He's says, "I'm gonna son you, child." He tweets, "I'm gonna son you, child." Okay, Max Holloway comes back and says, "Nah, big dog, you're gonna put some respect on my name." Now the fight's at 170. Conor's been out for 5 years, half a decade. Not the best fight to make, in my opinion. Max Holloway is he's one of the most slick guys. He fights southpaw, he fights orthodox, he'll stomp your legs, he'll teep your body, he'll piece you up with his punches. 5 rounds. I know McGregor and those guys were pushing for 3 rounds. Max Holloway is the king at 5 rounds.
So, we'll have more time to break that all down. But the timing of the announcement was great. Conor McGregor coming back is great for the sport. Who knows how many more of these he does have left. There's 2 fights left on his contract. How do you not watch that if you're Conor McGregor tonight, the Netflix card, and be like, I could probably make like 50 mil, something like that. They had to offset the pay-per-views. They had to make it right. I'm told they did. I'm told he's happy. I'm told the team is happy. But I'm also told he hasn't added fights to that contract. So there's still 2 left. And that's very significant because if he could get this one in July 11th and then one more, probably not this year, but first quarter, second quarter next year, you're talking about a year from now, maybe summer or back end of 27.
Happening a little bit, it's a bit surreal. And then I think as the fight goes on, as we get to round 2 and 3 and potentially round 4, I think Max Holloway's output, I think his body shots, I think he's going to be attacking the lead leg with the oblique kick, with the calf kicks, which he does quite well. And I can see McGregor firing back really hard leg kicks as well, but maybe getting checked or just, Max Holloway's too quick and elusive and just circles away from the hard leg kicks. And I think once Max Holloway starts to throw in combination and throw in volume, I think we're going to see him start to really bust up Conor McGregor. Pause. And I'm going to say we get like a Max Holloway TKO in like the round 3, round 4. But I think this will be a fun fight. I'm very excited about this.
Max Holloway's going to read that. And the other thing is Max fought him, so he's got the reads on that. And also Max switches stance. The stance switch for Max is going to make it harder for Conor to time over the top of his right hand. And he knows all the things that I know. So Max is going to make these adjustments. I think the big difference also in that fight is that Max is a grown man now. When he fought Conor the first time, he was younger. He was still learning where he was in the division. He was still learning his belief in himself. I think Max now knows that he's championship material. He knows how good he is. He's been told by the world, and he believes what the world tells him. So I think that that's going to help him in this matchup because I think he got out-confidenced in their first fight a lot. He just got like almost big brothered with confidence. I don't know if Conor's going to be able to out-confidence Max this fight. I think that they're going to be able to match up in that kind of mindset and match up. And whereas before Conor could just punk him, I think Max, even if he gets beaten on the words, on the war of words, he knows who he is. Look at Max in this
With the MMA world preparing itself for the likely clash between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway, there is no doubt that experts have had their differing views as to what the fight would entail. Whereas some feel that Conor has precision, timing, and the deadly left hand, which makes him a live player against any opponent, others feel that it will be his cardio and toughness that will completely suffocate Conor in the 5-round period of the fight. Across the board, pro fighters and analysts are leaning into one big question: can Conor land clean early, or does Max take over as the fight drags on?
He was talking about that with the victory over Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, like just going back around, he's talking about Justin Gaethje, he's talking about Islam Makhachev. I mean, if he beats Max Holloway, that would be absolutely huge for the sport, right? It would be crazy. If he goes out there, beats Max Holloway, imagine he knocks him out, Brett. It would be absolutely wild. In that regard, if he does that, surely the UFC then throw him straight into some kind of title opportunity, right? Like him and Justin Gaethje feels like it should have happened a long time ago. Do you reckon if he somehow finds a way to beat Max Holloway and you're looking for a reason for Justin Gaethje not to retire, you reckon that's the fight they're going to try and make to keep things cooking?
Max Holloway, which is not usually the case. We usually see Max against a guy like a Gaethje or a Poirier or even an Ilya, where he has the kicking game, right? He is at a big advantage in terms of his frame, his ability to use oblique kicks, leg kicks, but he does struggle with people that blast kicks back. As soon as Ilya's Topuria started blasting those calf kicks, Max's offense went out the window. He got backed up, he got pressured against the cage, he got finished. Right? Justin Gaethje was landing them consistently throughout that fight. I still feel like Max Holloway's styling on Justin Gaethje has kind of been swept under the rug, but he did style on Justin Gaethje, but calf kicks were landing consistently throughout that fight for Gaethje. Volkanovski beat Max Holloway 3 fucking times with leg kicks as the setup to all of his shots. And Conor McGregor has a much more powerful kicking offense, right? Especially if Max Holloway is switching stances, moving away, circling out, he will get blasted with calf kicks. Conor McGregor has wheel kicks up top, he has body kicks.
Bedtime MMA began by stating one of the major reasons for him picking Conor McGregor is that the fans now consider him to be a fighter who experienced success, but was only meant to be a brief run. He stated that people had completely forgotten about how great a fighter Conor McGregor actually was at his prime. In his opinion, Conor did not become a 2-time champion accidentally, and also managed to defeat top competitors without being lucky. He mentioned the victories against elite opponents, and also the fact that Conor gave Khabib a hard time. In the opinion of Bedtime MMA, the biggest mistake that people make is considering Conor McGregor not to be one of the best strikers in MMA anymore.
Reason number 1, I believe in Conor McGregor. I think people view Conor McGregor as this Cody Garbrandt type flash in the pan, like, yeah, whatever, dude, he had a good run, he has no title defenses. Petr Yan has no title defenses as well, by the way. This dude is fucking elite. Can we just be fucking real? Can we stop being fake hardcores and pretending like we think McGregor sucks? Conor McGregor is fucking elite. He is genuinely one of the greatest featherweights of all time. He is genuinely one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. You do not accidentally beat Jose Aldo by 13-second step back pull counter left hand on, you don't run through Chad Mendez, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Eddie Alvarez, Cowboy Cerrone, Nate Diaz, as if they're the fucking Brooklyn Brawler, bro. Like, this dude is genuinely one of the best strikers to ever step foot in the cage. He gave Khabib his hardest fight 110%. People bring up Gaethje. Joe Rogan brings up Aya Quinta because he survived the longest. That's like saying Josh Emmett gave Ilia Topuria his hardest challenge in a win. It's just not true. Just because he went the longest doesn't mean he did the best. Conor McGregor did the best against Khabib Nurmagomedov, 110%. 100%, the most dominant fighter ever. Conor McGregor was his toughest fight, and he was coming off a massive layoff.
Another critical factor that influenced Bedtime MMA to support McGregor was the idea that the legendary chin of Holloway had started getting weak over time. He highlighted how Max has been knocked down in some recent bouts, which did not happen previously in his fighting career. Although he sees Max as being very strong, he does not see Max in his current form as unbreakable. He noted that Max tends to stay in the middle of the ring and gets struck by straight punches under pressure from the opponent. In the case of someone as accurate and powerful as McGregor, it will make things very dangerous for Holloway.
But Max Holloway, we have been seeing things slow down for him over the past couple of fights. The biggest thing for me is Max's chin is not made out of fucking granite anymore, dude. We've seen Max Holloway get dropped in 3 of his last 4 fights, right? And if he's pushed back, his defense can be exploited. He is there on the center line to be hit with that straight left again and again and again. Dustin Poirier was doing a great job with that. You don't think Conor McGregor is going to find a straight left on the inside at least once? at least once. And I also feel like Max is very tuned in when it comes to hooks, right? He uses this kind of shell guard. He blocks up top and he wants to square up and swing with you. And that does open him up to body shots, right? To body kicks. There's this frame that I captured in the Dustin Poirier fight where he's blocking really high up top, expecting a punch. And I can see him expecting a punch from McGregor and catching a body kick, right? McGregor does this good job of kind of leaping into those body kicks.
While Brett Okamoto did not entirely discount Conor McGregor's belief about himself going into the rematch against Max Holloway, he acknowledged that Conor has no choice but to believe that. According to Brett, Conor most likely looks back on their first encounter and thinks that he already defeated Max before, despite having an ACL injury. In Brett's opinion, it is very significant for Conor psychologically, since a returning fighter after a 5-year hiatus cannot afford to enter a fight thinking negatively about himself. On the other hand, he thought that Conor knows how much Max has changed since 2013 when he fought with him for the first time.
I mean, I think he has to believe it to a certain extent. Like, not that he thinks he's the same guy skills wise, you know, but like, I beat this guy, which means I'm going to beat him again. You know, I think that that's probably kind of human nature. That seems like the kind of philosophy that he would take. And he's doing it to build a fight, but also for himself. I think that like who is this guy? I beat him with one knee the last time. Like, I tore my ACL and I beat this guy. Like, you telling me I can't beat this guy again? So I think it's good for his psyche, and I think it's not a bad line to sell the fight. I gotta believe that Conor also knows that you know, he's watched a few Max Holloway fights since then, and that, you know, he needs to be prepared. And I think he's been preparing. You know, I really do think he's been preparing. It's just, you can give me anybody when it comes to, is it going to be hard to fight 5 rounds with Max Holloway after taking a 5-year break and breaking your leg? Like, yeah, that's going to be real hard. I don't know many people who are going to win that fight.
While it was evident that Brett did not see any likelihood of a victory for Conor, Brett was aware of just how big a win for McGregor would be. If somehow he were to go out there and beat Max Holloway and knock him out, it would probably be the biggest story of the year for this sport. From the moment the topic was introduced, the focus turned to the possible title shot, since Brett knew just how much weight McGregor would have following his win. While Brett was not making any predictions of a McGregor victory, it was clear that a win for Conor would make things different all around.
He was talking about that with the victory over Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, like just going back around, he's talking about Justin Gaethje, he's talking about Islam Makhachev. I mean, if he beats Max Holloway, that would be absolutely huge for the sport, right? It would be crazy. If he goes out there, beats Max Holloway, imagine he knocks him out, Brett. It would be absolutely wild. In that regard, if he does that, surely the UFC then throw him straight into some kind of title opportunity, right? Like, him and Justin Gaethje feels like it should have happened a long time ago. Do you reckon if he somehow finds a way to beat Max Holloway and you're looking for a reason for Justin Gaethje not to retire, you reckon that's the fight they're going to try and make to keep things cooking?
To start with, Luke Thomas noted that it was already obvious from the betting odds that Max Holloway was going to be the favorite for the fight against Conor McGregor, and he was not really surprised about that because, in his opinion, there were just too many open questions about Conor McGregor. As Luke pointed out, Conor hasn't been fighting for 5 years, hasn't had any victories in all this time, and got a very serious leg injury that hasn't been seen before in MMA. Moreover, Luke mentioned other problems that have occurred with McGregor during this time, but were not connected with fighting. Although Luke admitted that Holloway looked rather poor in his loss against Charles Oliveira, he considered that it did not mean anything for McGregor due to the different styles of fighting. Although Luke was rooting for Holloway, he also admitted that he was able to see a way to victory for McGregor, but he said that it is unlikely that it would be done the same way as McGregor won the first time they fought. The reason is that McGregor injured his ACL during the fight, which was when he became successful in wrestling. It is something that Luke said would not work at all for McGregor this time around. According to him, the real problem here is not really about Max Holloway, but about how nobody knows for sure how Conor will fight after such a long absence from the ring. Ariel Helwani began by reminding everyone that he had been saying for weeks that the fight would be between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway, and he hoped it would eventually become an official fight. He stated the reason behind choosing such a match, which is bringing back the rivalry they had way back in 2013. The reason is that neither has fought before at 170 pounds in UFC, and McGregor has not fought since 2021. Ariel expressed his optimism about the return of McGregor. McGregor McGregor was driven and had put in a lot of effort to get himself back in the right condition to fight, according to Ariel. However, he emphasized that there were also some uncertainties due to the long absence. For Ariel, it all depends on how McGregor performs when he enters the cage after almost 4 years away from the fighting arena. TJ Dillashaw kicked things off by referencing how Michael Chandler would take the news of Conor McGregor fighting Max Holloway over him. The theme of the argument continues to be that Chandler essentially waited forever for his payday with McGregor, and it must sting to see it going to someone else. In addition, it is emphasized that from just a fight standpoint, it would seem like McGregor versus Holloway makes more sense. A 5-round fight is referenced, and then the tone changes to suggest that this will be more of a test for McGregor than Chandler. Dillashaw went on to explain the fight in more detail. The team around Dillashaw mentions that one of Conor's main strengths is that he has a sniper-type left hand, and if Conor were to go up against someone such as Chandler, the fight could end quickly because of this strength. However, Max Holloway completely throws a wrench in everything due to his incredible cardio and endurance. It should be mentioned that the team notes how Holloway is one of those fighters who does not take a breather during the fight, which makes him a completely different challenge for Conor. At the end of the day, the predictions around Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway all circle back to one thing: pace versus precision. If Conor finds his rhythm early, lands that sharp left hand, and controls the distance, he absolutely has a path to victory. But if Max Holloway survives those early exchanges, the fight starts shifting into very dangerous territory for Conor. The volume, pressure, and endurance Max brings over 5 rounds have broken elite fighters before, and that's exactly why so many pros are leaning his way in the later rounds. Still, you can't count Conor out completely because of his ability to change a fight in a single moment. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Does Conor land early, or does Max take over late?